Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Miss Tori, and my job here at the library is to read the stories at Richmond Public Library. Today is day 13 of the 100 Days RVA Reads program, which is promoting PBS's Great American Read series. So today at the Ginter Park Library in Richmond's North Side, I'm going to be reading a little bit from Charlotte's Web by E.B. White before we start our program. And I just wanted to tell you guys why I picked Charlotte's Web. It's one of my favorite books from my childhood. I think it's a very touching story about unconditional love and friendship. And so today I'd like to read you guys a small portion of the story, and then we have a special guest. We have our friend Alex and our friend Austin. They're going to do a little scene for you before we start the program. So raise your hand if you've read Charlotte's Web. Oh, lots of people have read it. Okay. So if you haven't read it, let me tell you a little bit about it. So you'd be surprised how much can happen in a pig's life. And Wilbur, his life has a lot of ups and a lot of downs. Right off the bat, Wilbur's in trouble. He's the runt of his litter. And so they decide they can't feed all the animals. They're going to have to kill Wilbur. But don't worry, a little girl named Fern saves him and decides to raise him as her own pet. But eventually he gets too big, and they have to take him down to Zuckerman's farm. And while he's on the farm, he meets lots of other animals there. He meets a goose, a couple goose, that's a geese, some geese, and a rat, and cows, and sheep, and horses. And he also makes one very special friend, a spider. And I'd like to share with you guys how he meets his spider friend. So I'm going to read you guys just a little bit from the story, okay? Charlotte's Web. The night seemed long. Wilbur's stomach was empty and his mind was full. And when your stomach is empty and your mind is full, it's always hard to sleep. A dozen times during the night, Wilbur woke and stared into the blackness, listening to the sounds and trying to figure out what time it was. A barn is never perfectly quiet. Even at midnight, there's usually something stirring. "What time is it?" said Wilbur. "It's 11:30. Go back to sleep," said the goose. "Why aren't you asleep, Wilbur?" "I have too many things on my mind," he said. "Now what time is it?" "It's still 11:30. Go to sleep, Wilbur." "Oh, it's so uncomfortable." Suddenly, Wilbur heard a noise. "I'll be your friend if you go to sleep, and you can meet me in the morning." About a half an hour before dawn, Wilbur woke up and listened. The barn was still dark. The lights were not on and nothing was stirring. The cows were resting, the horses dozed. Day is almost here, he thinks, and through a small window he saw a little bit of light. Oh, beautiful day! It's daytime at last! Today I shall meet my friend. Wilbur looked everywhere. He searched his pen, he looked around, but he saw nothing new. Finally, he decided to speak up. And now we're going to do our little scene. Come on up, Austin. Come on up, Alex. Darren, go sit down. You can watch. I know, I'm sorry. All right, so the next morning, Wilbur stares impatiently at the horizon.
Okay, it's morning. Would the party who addressed me last night kindly make themselves known?
Pipe down, I will come out.
A large gray spider lowers herself from the corner of the doorway and says,
"Salutations."
Wilbur's smile fades. He hangs his head and turns.
Okay, I'll go.
It's just a fancy word to say hello.
Oh, hello. What's your
My
name?
name is Charlotte.
Nice name. Since you said that word, does that mean we're friends?
Yeah, the party does.
Yay!
And scene. Thanks, guys. So if you like what you've heard today, Charlotte's Web and all of the 100 Great American Read books are available at your local Richmond Public Library, as well as downloadable on our website through Overdrive. And if you'd like to be a reader or you want to find out who will be reading next in the city, you can visit our website. It's rvalibrary.org/100days. And don't forget, you can go online and vote for your favorites. And as always, keep reading, Richmond.